Hello, everybody. Welcome. How is everybody out there today? Today is Saturday, 24th of May. Hope you're having a good weekend where you are. Here in the UK and many places around the globe is a long weekend for many. So I hope you're enjoying the time off. I said yesterday that I was going to do a Q&A today. That's what the theme is for us all today. So if you have a question, put it in the chat, but please, guys, start it with question so that I can find it and read it out for everybody. And I'll put you up on the screen at the same time as well. Nothing to report as far as the OES is concerned. No updates there for you guys. But as always, please log in on a daily basis. That's where the information is going to be posted. Obviously, myself, Chris, Marty, and many others as well. If we hear anything beforehand, we'll obviously bring it to you as soon as possible. Okay. Hope you enjoyed yesterday's live. I enjoyed doing it. And I really did think that it was I thought that it was interesting to celebrate small wins. I really think that we should try harder to know more about people's small wins so we can celebrate them all together. Anyway, guys, as I said, today is Q&A. Put the question in the chat. Started off with question and I'll come round to find it. A quick disclaimer, okay? My answers are my opinion. Nothing comes from corporate. It's my knowledge, my understanding, okay? But it is me, Redfern, giving you the answers. This isn't me quoting Ashmi Farah or corporate. This is just my opinion on many of the things that get asked, okay? Also, guys, if you haven't already, please like and subscribe to this YouTube channel. It really has helped me grow the subscribers. And also, there is a notification bell to the right-hand side when you log in or when you subscribe. If you click that, that will notify you whenever I do any more lives or upload any other videos. Okay, so we will start off with this question here from Mergish. I think that's Iya. We would like to know, we'd like to know any webinar in next week. Okay, good question. As of yet, I've heard nothing, so nothing is scheduled for next week. But please remember, our CEO did say, and he did state, that if there's no updates to give us, then he wouldn't come on just for the sake of him turning up. Okay, he really does want to turn up to give us information. So obviously, if there is information to be given, then he will obviously do a webinar. We will let you know. It will be posted, obviously, in your OES, and we will take it from there. But no, I haven't heard of anything scheduled for next week at all. So let's just keep logging in to our OES, and that is where the information will be. Otherwise, we will let you know as well. Thank you, John Berea, for being in the chat and doing your thing. I much appreciate it. It's very, very kind of you as well. Okay, I've just answered that one about the international webinar. Remember, put question before you ask the question, and then I can find it a lot easier in the chat area. Question here. Okay, it's the same one. Everyone, a lot of my Indian brothers and sisters want to know when the next webinar is. I've covered that for 3 people. That's good news. Okay, I have actually got one question that was sent to me on a messenger. And that comes from Martin Kovac. He said, do you think Ash will tell us the first step concerning the first step in our next webinar? Again, guys, I am convinced at the moment that when we see our CEO, he is getting us ready for the information for the next step. So that first step. I don't think we're there yet. I think there's a bit more housekeeping to be done, I think is the right terminology. I'm not expecting that in the next webinar that he'll be mentioning anything about the first steps that we've got to take. I could be wrong, obviously, but I'd be very surprised if we have that information. And the first question from Martin was about, are we going to have another webinar shortly? I gave you that answer. So please, guys, put your questions in the chat. Start with question first, and then I can find it. Nice to see so many of you on here on a again, this is from Muruyash. Please let us know what is the next phase means. Is it on passive or any other platform? Okay, I can answer quite a lot of that, actually. Is it on passive? The answer to that is probably no. Why do I say that? I say that because of what our CEO has said. He said the only thing that is coming to the next phase from on passive is me and my name. No coding, no products, no services, nothing. So this next phase is brand spanking new. Everything about it is new. There's no redo, there is no refurb, there is no upgrade or anything like that. It is going to be brand new. Is it going to be a name change? I don't know. That's not for me to say. But if you go on what he has said, it's pretty likely that there will be a name change. If you remember, he said it's not going to be on Passive 2.0. It's not going to be on Fusion. It's not going to be a redo of something else. So am I expecting a name change? Yeah, I think I would be naive to think there wouldn't be a name change. But what it's going to be, I don't know. But one thing I do know is that the next phase, whatever it's going to be, is going to be better than what we had. Now, for me, that really is the main important thing, that we are leaving something behind and moving to something better. I am very excited about that. I'm very prepared for it. And that is where my focus is lying, to shift that mentality of on passive and push forward to where this next phase is going. That is exactly what I'm focusing on, and I hope you guys are as well. So please, guys, let us concentrate on where the next phase is going to be going. And I would personally be moving away from using the word on passive a lot at the moment, because there's a good chance that there will be, it might be called something different, but we have to wait and see from our CEO. Again, that's my opinion. Okay, nobody has told me this officially, but we will have to wait and see from our CEO. Okay, somebody's asking here, Ariane, is there a possibility of a new version of the OES coming this month? No idea. Many founders in India are saying that a new version of the OES and website is coming. Don't know where they've got that information from. And also payments this month. Again, whoever is putting that information out, it is false information. None of that information has been divulged to anybody. The only person who knows what's going to be going on there is our CEO, and he hasn't divulged any of that information to us. So people that are making up that, okay, they are obviously spreading false rumors just to get clicks on their YouTube channels or whatever it may be. Again, I advise very, very strongly that you follow people who give the right information. If there is Indian founders who are spreading false information, there's no point in following these people, because they're only going to get you confused. and they are certainly not going to give you the right information. I try my very hardest to give you the right information to the best of my knowledge. And this is why I suggest that you follow the likes of me and Chris and Marty and many others as well, so that you do get the right information. Murgish has just asked another question. Please explain new direction which our CEO mentioned in the last webinar. He hasn't told us what the new direction is going to be. All he's said is it is going to be a brand new phase. It is completely new, and he has said that he hasn't given any information about it yet. He hasn't even started step one yet for the next phase. So what direction that's going to be, I have no idea. All I know is that he said it's going to be much better than it was. He said we are all going to be very, very shocked in a good way for what is coming. So all I do is advise each and every one of you to stay the course, hang tight, see this through, and wait for our CEO's guidance and information going forward into the next stage. Okay, Nunu Santos has got a question here. What is the status of the data centers? Will it be incorporated into the next company? That's a good question. Okay, what we do know is that that was part of OnPassive that was going to be coming online, and we were going to be using our own data centers and servers for hostings and storing all our information, etc. Whether that's going to still be part of the next phase, Nunu, I don't know. We haven't had any information about that whatsoever from our CEO, have we? So it would be, I'll just be guessing, which isn't the right thing to do. So will it be incorporated in the next phase of this business? I have no idea whatsoever. But it would make sense moving forward that is something that is incorporated at some point, but whether it's going to be there at the start or not, I have no idea. Good question, though. Kalisa Harris, she said, is there a launch in this month? Again, I don't have that sort of information. It's only our CEO, so we'll have to wait for an update from him. This is why I give my honest opinion, because there's no point in saying, yes, it's this month, because nobody has said that it's going to be this month. Like I said before, I'd be very surprised if the next webinar we have, that is the start of the first step. But again, I might be wrong. I still think we're in the prepping stage, getting us ready for it. So I'd be very surprised if things have moved any further along than more than that. Ariane, I have answered your question, so please stop putting the same question is. Nun is asking about, will we have data centers to keep data private? Again, my friend, I don't know about that. I don't know if that is something that will be incorporated or not. And if so, any data within OnPassive is going to be secure. Remember, he said it a long, long time ago, he will never sell any of our data, if you remember. And I believe that is still going to be the case moving forward. Question here from Miraj again. Is the new platform, what would happen to government approval taken in the name of OnPassive? Again, what did our CEO say about OnPassive? He said he wants to make sure that everything that was evolved or involved with OnPassive, and that includes commissions and wages, governmental issues, legalities, etc., were all taken care of. Okay, that is what his desire is to do, is to zero out everything to do with OnPassive. The new platform, like I said, it's going to be brand spanking new. So one doesn't move over to the other. If it's a brand new business, it's a brand new business. It is not a mix of on passive and something we're moving forward. What we're moving to is brand spanking new, very exciting, very innovative, new products and new services. This is what we should be focusing on, not going back over something that has been made very clear by our CEO that he is going to make sure everything is sorted at some point in the future to do with what on passive was and the legalities, etc. on that. Okay, I'm just scrolling. Guys, if I have answered your question, please don't keep putting it in. Otherwise, I might have to go on and remove you. Okay, Lawrence is just saying, is on passive going to change? If so, shall we sign an NDA once more? Good question. Like I said, it is going to be a brand new phase of the business. Are we going to have to sign a brand new DNA coming up? Well, there's a fair chance that we might have to. Let me just see what Tanya's got to say. I'll try and do that, Tanya, if I can. You just have to wait a little bit. Again, that's my thoughts. Nobody's told me this. Nobody has said we're going to have to sign new NDAs once more. But there has been a lengthy lapse of time between when we signed our last one to when we signed our new one. And if we take the status quo of it's going to be a new phase, a new business, everything about it is new, then that old NDA that we signed is pretty redundant, really, isn't it? So even though nobody has said we're going to have to do it, it's kind of my thought process that that will be had to be done at some point moving forward. Again, my opinion, my thoughts, nothing that has been said from on passive. It's a shame that I've got to keep saying the same things all along, because I know that people will take what I'm saying out of context. Somebody's saying, how many days waiting for on passive 2.0? There is not going to be an on passive 2.0. Our CEO said very clearly that that is not going to be there on passive 2.0. Good to see so many of you on here. Remember, if you've got a question, put question before it. If you're asking about corporate webinar, I answered that at the beginning. Question here from Johnny. Hi, Johnny. Thank you, Johnny, by the way, for everything you do as well. He churns out some really good music as far as the business is concerned. So go over to his YouTube channel, please, guys, and like and subscribe to it. He really puts some very positive stuff out. Red, what has been the most fulfilling part of this journey for you so far? I think for me, the most exciting phase that we've been in so far was to see us on the Burj Khalifa. I thought that was really, really exciting. That and Jitex, and also the billboards around Dubai as well. Those things combined for me were a very, very exciting time. Why? Because I really felt that I was part of a big, big business, you know, bigger than I anticipated, bigger than I visioned, and bigger than something that I thought it would be. So seeing us on the Burj Khalifa multiple times, the billboards around the malls in Dubai, and also the Gitex and how well we did there with the stand, that for me was pretty good. It really was. Good question though. Hey Sean, how you doing? Sean Cyrus, another 2018er. How you doing, brother? Murridge again, you asked some lots of questions. What would happen to the brand name on Passive if it's another platform? Okay, I think a little bit of explaining needs to be done here, doesn't it? The brand and the platform on Passive isn't going anywhere. It's still going to be there. Okay, nothing's happening to it. It's there. We can log into it, we can see it, and the name on Passive is still there. What we're going to is going to be brand new. Whatever it's going to be, whatever it's going to be called, we don't know. But the name and the brand on Passive is still in situ. Are we going to use that brand and that domain and that area of on Passive in the future? I have no idea. But for now, we're not going to be using it. We're going to be moving to something brand new. So what's going to happen to it? Nothing's going to happen to it. It's still there. It's not going to be shut down. It's not going to cease to exist. It's still there. We can still log in, and it is the desire of our CEO to make sure that everything is sorted out in that area over the next period of time, however long it takes to get it all sorted. But as far as we are all concerned, and that is the users and the affiliates, we are moving to a new destination. Yes, on Passive is still going to be here, but we are moving over to a new destination. Hope that helped to explain it a little bit. Okay, I'll answer this. Samson has just said, from the last webinar, Ashma Farah said the next phase is going to be free. Does it mean we're not going to pay for any products? Then how then does it generate money for us all? Do you know? We haven't got that information. Okay, I haven't got that information. No idea until we are given the instructions of what we need to do. He hasn't asked us for any money, has he? He hasn't said, for us to be able to go to the next phase, you have to pay. He hasn't said that. In fact, he said, as Samson rightly said, it is going to be free for us to go to the next phase. How the mathematics, how the whole of the workings are concerned into the next phase is going to pan out, I don't know. Only our CEO can give us that information. So there's no point in going too far ahead of us to try and say, well, if it going to there and it's not costing us any money to go into the next phase, how are we going to generate any money if we haven't paid any money? I don't know. Our CEO is a very intelligent person, and he knows a lot more than we do. So I'm sure he's got a plan for all of us. I'm sure that whatever that plan is, it is going to be better than it was before. So this is why I encourage everybody to make sure that they stick to their guns and see this one through. I will answer this one. Nissi from India, what about the SEC case status? What about it? What did our CEO say? He said he was hopeful that within 60 to 90 days from when he said it, he would be able to update us on the status of the SEC case. Anything that you see or read, okay, you're allowed to do that. But as far as information and updates is concerned, our CEO will update us on the SEC case. And he gave us a time band of 60 to 90 days from when he said it. And I think that was probably 4 weeks ago. Okay, so He was hopeful that by the end of June, July time, that he would be able to update us more on the status quo of the SEC case. That is the only information that I am giving out. That is the only information that I know. Anything else is speculation, hearsay, and all the rest of it. Question here. Durga Prasad. Red Sir, will be founding members within the next chapter. Who knows? I haven't seen any of the criteria. I haven't seen or heard anything about whether there is going to be any founders within the next phase, including myself. Are we just going to be customers and affiliates? Who knows? I don't know. But I think there's too much emphasis put on founding members. I think that in the early days, there was a real sort of buzz about being a founder in On Passive. And I think that things got overshadowed with this foundership, and people were making absolutely absurd things about being a founder, in like they owned the company, etc., and that they were shareholders in the company and all these sort of things. Well, that's completely rubbish, because we weren't. We were just a founding member of the business before it launched. So we were early birds, I suppose. Is it going to be the same status quo into the next phase? Who knows? We'll have to see. If you were to ask me my gut feeling, I don't think it's going to be there. I think we'll be customers and affiliates. That's my opinion. I might be wrong, but we'll have to wait and see. There's an awful lot of you keep asking the same question, and I've answered them. We'll do 2 more, and then that'll be it. Sorry for the delay. I'm just scrolling, trying to find a question. He didn't say 60 days. He said 60 to 90 days, by the way. It wasn't bang on 60. So there's no point in asking what exact date it's going to be. There's no point in asking when the launch is going to be, guys, okay? Because nobody knows except for our CEO. I don't know. People asking about the webinar, I answered that at the beginning. You'll have to watch the replay. I will read this out from Nunu. He said, in my point of view, this strategy that Mr. Ash adopted is the correct one. As difficult it is not to have information, the fact that Mr. Ash does not disclose it is positive. Absolutely. We talked many times, haven't we, about learning from your mistakes. And Ash Mufareh is determined that this time around, he is only going to show his hand when we are ready. If you remember, he said, when I'm showing you 5 10 is already ready. When I'm showing you 10, 20 is already ready. Okay, so he's learned his mistakes from that, and what he doesn't want to do is to divulge information because there's a lot of spies in the camp. Thank you, John, for putting that in. And as Tanya's just said, Ash said, I can trust you, but sorry, you will need to sign this one. That's why I'm saying, in my opinion, Aaron Tech is saying, my question isn't we are talking very long time to bring it public. Kindly mention minimum or maximum time period for this phase. How can I do that if I don't know? Okay. There's no point in putting a time limit on anything because there's only one person who knows that. And it really is a question of whether you believe in what our CEO is doing or not, to whether you are prepared to stay the course and wait until it is all ready. I certainly am, and I hope you guys are as well. Okay, I'm going to do one more and then that's it, because everyone's just asking the same questions. When's the next webinar?
I can't believe you don't know.
Oh no, I can't believe I don't know either. Okay, I will answer this one, and this will be the last question. This is from, let me find it again, sorry. I can't remember. Here we go. This is the last question from, I think, Glassjar, maybe. Is there anything on passive left in Dubai? Okay, if you've been on the webinars, that's a very easy one to answer. If you remember, Ash spent an awful lot of time talking about the different locations and kind of what had happened in those locations as well. And he specifically said that we do not have a presence anymore in Dubai, Singapore, India, Bangladesh. Was there another one? Egypt. That was it. The only location that they still have a presence is in United States. Okay, so is there anything on passive left in Dubai? The answer to that is, my best of my knowledge, no, there is not. Anyway, guys, that's it from me for today. I hope I've gone a little way to try and answer some of your questions. Okay, but please, guys, there's no point in asking when's the next webinar, because our CEO will let us know when the next webinar is going to be. And there's no point asking, is the next phase going to launch this month? Again, only our CEO can answer those sorts of questions. Anyway, that's it from me. I'll be back around on Monday for Monday Fun Day with myself and Jane. Have a great rest of the weekend wherever you are, and I will see you all Monday. That's it from me. Bye for now.